Hi guys! So since last video was insanely long, today we're just going to keep it short and sweet and do a couple pages from The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, just continuing into Act 2, and then next week we'll have some more. Also, happy Thanksgiving to everyone watching this. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving filled with whatever it needs to be filled with for you to be thankful. All right, let's get into it. Act 2, Scene, Garden at the Manor House, Wilde. A flight of gray stone steps lead up to the house. The garden, an old-fashioned one, full of roses. Time of year, July. Basket chairs and a table covered with books are set under a large yew tree. Miss Prism discovered seated at a table. Cecily is in the back watering flowers. Miss Prism. Cecily! Cecily! Surely such a utilitarian occupation as the watering of flowers is rather Moulton's duty rather than yours, especially at a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray open it at page 15. We will repeat yesterday's lesson. Get down. I'm trying to do a video. Sorry, guys. Cecily. Oh, I wish you would give Moulton the German lesson instead of me. Moulton! Miss Cecily? Wouldn't you like to know German, Moulton? German is the language talked by people who live in Germany. I don't hold with them foreign tongues, miss. No offense to you, ma'am. And he disappears behind the hedge. Cecily, this will never do. Pray open your Schiller at once. Cecily coming over very slowly, but I don't like German. It isn't at all a becoming language. I know perfectly well that I look quite plain after my German lesson. Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving for town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German when he is leaving for town. Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he is so serious that I think he cannot be quite well. Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanor is especially to be commended in one so comparatively young as he is. I know no one who has a higher sense of duty and responsibility. I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we three are together. Cecily, I am surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. Idle merriment and triviality would be out of place in his conversation. You must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother. I wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometimes. We might have a good influence over him, Miss Prism. I am sure you certainly would. You know German and geology, and things of that kind influence a man very much. Cecily begins to write in her diary. I do not think that even I could produce any effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, guys. Irretrievably weak and vacillating. Indeed, I am not sure that I would desire to reclaim him. I am not in favor of this modern mania for turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so let him reap. But men don't sow, Miss Prism, and if they did, I don't see why they should be punished for it. There's a great deal too much punishment in the world. German is a punishment, certainly, and there is far too much German. You told me yourself yesterday that Germany was overpopulated. There is no reason why you should be writing in your diary instead of translating William Tell. You put away your diary, Cecily. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all. I keep a diary in order to enter the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should probably forget all about them. Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary we all carry about with us. Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that have never happened and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe that memory is responsible for nearly all the 3-volume novels that Moody sends us. Do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in earlier days. Did you really, Miss Prism? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it did not end happily. I do not like novels that end happily. They depress me so much. The good ended happily and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means. I suppose so, but it seems very unfair. And was your novel ever published? Alas, no. The manuscript, unfortunately, was abandoned. I use the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To your work, child. These speculations are profitless. But I see Dr. I'm doing it again. Chasuble coming through the garden. Dr. Chasuble! This is indeed a pleasure. Enter Canon Chasuble. And how are we this morning, Miss Prism? You are, I trust, well? Miss Prism has just been complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good to have a short stroll with you in the park, Dr. Chasuble. Cecily, I have not mentioned anything about a headache. No, dear Miss Prism, I know that, but I felt instinctively that you had a headache. Indeed, I was thinking about that, and not about my German lesson when the rector came in. I hope, Cecily, you are not inattentive. Oh, I am afraid I am. This is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I spoke metaphorically. My metaphor was drawn from bees. Mr. Worthing, I suppose, has not returned from town yet. We do not expect him till Monday afternoon. Ah, yes, he usually likes to spend his Sunday in London. He is not one of those whose sole aim is enjoyment, as by all accounts that unfortunate young man his brother seems to be. But I must not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer. Egeria? My name is Letitia, Doctor. A classical allusion merely, drawn from the pagan authors. I shall see you both, no doubt, at evensong. I think, dear Doctor, I will have that stroll with you. I find I have a headache after all, and a walk might do it good. With pleasure, Miss Prism, with pleasure. We might go as far as the schools and back. That would be delightful. Cecily, you will read your political economy in my absence. The chapter on the fall of Rupee you may omit. It is somewhat too sensational for a young girl. Even those metallic problems have their melodramatic side. Reading political economy, Cecily. It is wonderful how girls are educated nowadays. I suppose you know all about the relations between capital and labor. I am afraid I have not learned it all. All I know about the relations between capital and idleness, and that is merely from observation, so I don't suppose it's true. Cecily, that sounds like socialism. And I suppose you know where socialism leads to. Oh, yes, that leads to rational dress, Miss Prism. And I suppose that when a woman is dressed rationally, she is treated rationally. She certainly deserves to be. A willful lamb, dear child. A sad trouble sometimes. I envy you such tribulation. Goes down the garden with Miss Prism. Cecily picks up books and throws them back on the table. Horrid political economy, horrid geography, horrid German. And we're going to stop there today because there was a lot of distractions and some, mispronounced words in there. So I did my best to look them up before, like the ones that I didn't recognize, but I guess that I didn't quite get all of them. So I am sorry about that. I guess my only question for this video is, what do you think of our new characters, which are the Doctor, Miss Prism, and Cecily, who we have heard about, but, haven't got to see until now. So I think their relationship is kind of funny. But, I mean, this whole play is a comedy, so every relationship's going to have little nitpicks of hilarity in there. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know that it is much, much shorter than my last one, which is a good thing. After looking through my last video, I was like, oh, wow, that's way too long. So, I'm going to try and keep them around 10 to 15 minutes from here on out, just so it can be like a quick little look at and maybe like a little comment discussion starter. So yeah, with this video, I hope that some people comment on it and that we can maybe get a little back and forth kind of going. But I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you next week. Bye.